For the first time, I was going to talk to the prettiest and most powerful girl in the school. What could possibly go wrong? Eliza immediately blasted me with her water superpower. I flew across the hall before slamming into a locker. Who said you could ask me out? Do you even have an ability? I scrambled to grab my things. I just wanted your help unlocking my power before the military picks us up in 2 hours. Eliza scoffed. And you think I'll risk my ranking by associating myself with a powerless level 0 pervert like you? Everyone thought I was one of the only people in the world without powers, but I was going to prove them all wrong. As I reached into my backpack, my heart sank. My locked ability book from my dead parents, the one thing that could potentially grant me a power, was missing. Eliza chuckled and picked up the book from the floor. Seriously? You wanted help opening this pathetic thing? In her hand was my black ability book, covered in ancient symbols, radiating dark energy. I reached for it, but suddenly someone shoved me into the locker. Riley Blade, the most powerful student in the school, loomed over me. You think you can talk to my girl, you little sicko? You just failed your final assessment. You're officially worthless. Eliza flocked to his side and kissed him on the cheek. He took my book and stared at it. So your book won't open? Why? Are your parents too poor to get you an ability book that actually works? Nearby students laughed, but I ignored their jeers and rose. I was certain that if I could just open my book, I'd unlock power unlike anyone had ever seen. It was the last thing I had from my parents after they died in the Dalkee War. I was going to get it back no matter what. Give that back! I charged at him without thinking, catching him off guard. He engulfed his body in a roaring flame. You little rat! Despite the scorching heat, I held on. He grabbed my face with his burning hand. What's wrong with you, freak? I climbed against his body, trying to reach for the book, but he held it out and flung it through the doorway to the gym. There! Go get it, level 0! Without thinking, I lunged into the gym. In the gym, dozens of rich, superpowered students were engaged in a practice skirmish. Ice, lightning, and other abilities turned the room into a battlefield, but that wouldn't stop me from getting my book. I charged in, arms raised to block a wind blast, when a voice screamed at me from the other side of the room. Quinn Talon, what are you doing here? You already failed your final assessment. Our class instructor, Mr. Dell, glared at me. The book was at his feet. I pointed. Mr. Dell, my book. Can you halt the session so I can grab it? Mr. Talon, this is nothing compared to what you'll face in the military academy. If you can't get your book yourself, then enlistment might as well be a death sentence. The other students groaned. Ugh, what's the powerless kid doing here? A rock pelted me in the stomach. Now some of the students were using me as target practice. An icicle sliced across my arm. Each ability was deadly, honed to fight back against the Dalkee invaders that killed my parents and millions of others. But that didn't stop me. I lunged for the book, but Riley's hands snatched it up first. Sorry, level 0. No book for you. He smacked the book across my face, catching blood from my nose. Just then the bell rang, cutting the fight. Mr. Dell walked up and snatched the book. It's done, Riley. No fighting outside of class hours. Though, you've done an excellent job demonstrating your strength today. As Mr. Dell patted Riley on the back, I noticed a soft glow coming from the book, dimly illuminated in Mr. Dell's hands. It had never glowed before. Did that mean it could open now? Mr. Dell sneered with disgust. Quinn, you did even worse than I thought. Without a power, I don't imagine you'll last long in the military. He tossed the book to me before shooting me one last glare. Here's the silver lining. If you make it to the front lines, the Dalkee will kill you quickly, just like your parents. Farewell, Mr. Talon. As everyone laughed, I could only think about one thing: opening my book. If I unlocked the powers that my parents always wanted for me, I'd prove that everyone was wrong to doubt me, and finally get everything I wanted. I glanced at the clock. 1 hour until the military academy would pick me up. I stormed out of the gym, clutching the book tight against my chest. The second I was in my dorm, I threw the book onto my table. All right, Quinn. What caused the book to activate? I rubbed my chin, recalling everything. Riley's flames! I grabbed a lighter and lit it against the spine of the book. Nothing happened. Just gotta keep trying. So I did. I tested everything. I flung the book to the floor, hit it with various elements, even simulated my classmates' mockery. Still nothing. As time ticked down, doubt crept into my mind. Frustrated, I held up the book, nails digging in. Come on, you've ruined my life long enough, so why don't you fix it? Don't you understand what's at stake? It didn't react at all. My hands shook with anger. I whipped the book at the mirror, exploding glass into my skin. Blood dripped down my arms, but I didn't care. I collapsed beside the book. Please, you're all that I have of my parents. You're the only thing I've got. Please. I stared, hoping for anything. Then, a crimson glow caught my eye. What the? A dim red light illuminated the book's engravings. My eyes sparked with hope. How? I scanned the book and found a small drop of blood on the cover. My blood. My mind flashed to the moment in the gym my blood dripped onto the book. This whole time, the key was blood? I clenched my fist high, letting blood trickle down my arm and onto the book. Each splat made the book grow brighter. I broke into a smile. It's working! The book exploded open. A gust of wind rushed past me, tearing through my room like a tornado. Digital interfaces and images blinked in and out of my vision. I panicked. What's happening? A robotic voice answered. System successfully opened. Now uploading. I staggered back. This thing is in my head? I've never heard of an ability like this before. My eyes flicked to the black book, terrified. What are you? Initiating final step. System upload at 98%. A sharp pain flared as two small puncture wounds appeared on my neck. What the? My stomach twisted. The world was shifting around me. Was I going to die? Then, everything stopped. Digital words flashed. System upload complete. Congratulations. You have been granted the vampire system. I gasped as the words vanished from my eyes, and my entire room fell silent, like nothing had happened. Was that all in my head? I rubbed my arms and stopped. The cuts were gone. Had they healed? Or were they never there at all? I rushed to the mirror and froze. The scrawny boy I always knew was gone, replaced by someone taller, with toned muscle and a razor-sharp jawline. Suddenly, a strange pressure pulsed beneath my skin. My eyes widened. No way. Could it be? The book. Had it actually worked? A laugh escaped as I leapt into the air. I did it! I have an ability now! Then I paused. Wait, what is my ability? Am I a vampire? Before I could think, my eyes darted to the time. Shoot! The military's here in 10. What do? Do I just say, system start? System starting. A red screen like a video game blinked into my vision. HP 50. Current level 0. Max power level unknown. An unknown max power level? Did that mean I could grow infinitely strong? Okay, system. Tell me how to get stronger. Complete quests to unlock new skills and grow stats. Complete 4 beginner quests to fully unlock system. I bounced with excitement. All right, show me available quests. 1 quest available. Drink 3 water bottles for unknown reward. 3 water bottles? If that's what it took, I rushed to the fridge and only downed the first bottle when the system's voice returned. Alert, a powerful figure approaches. A powerful figure? Who could that be? I chugged the second one faster. When I reached for the third, a loud knock boomed from my door. Quinn, this is your sergeant. Draft day has arrived. I groaned. The powerful figure that the system mentioned was a military officer, here ahead of time. He continued, "Come out this instant. I've been informed of your final exam results. Don't give me a reason to expel you before day 1. I cursed. Expulsion meant no avenging my parents or growing my power. I stepped out the door, messily chugging down the last bottle. The sergeant stared back at me, bewildered. Talon, you're late. The military bus is waiting for you. Another minute and you'll receive expulsion. Expulsion? A gasp escaped as I took my last gulp, causing water to spray out my mouth and hit the sergeant. He wiped my spit off his face and glared. Quite the first impression. This isn't going too well for you. Follow me. He turned as I lowered my head and followed. So far, this system seemed like nothing but trouble. But as we walked, my system chimed. First quest completed. Reward, energy, strength, and speed improved. It took over in an instant. Every muscle in my body jittered, begging to spring to action. I took a step forward, and my legs carried me halfway down the hall. Whoa! The sergeant barked from behind me. Talon, what the hell are you doing? I looked over my shoulder, struggling to contain my energy. Sorry, Sergeant, you said to hurry up. I don't want to be late. I turned forward, and my body propelled me forward before I could even think about stopping it. Clearly, I had gotten more swift, more agile, and my body was doing things beyond my control. A smile slipped out. I was unsure if I could stop it, and unsure if I even wanted to. I was loving every second of it. But the second we stepped outside, the sun's light completely blinded me. I shielded my eyes. Is the sun always this bright? The sergeant raised an eyebrow. What are you talking about? The weather's normal today. After a moment, I realized that I felt weaker too. All my strength had been sapped away from me. System alert. Your stats are being reduced to 50% during exposure. Please seek immediate shelter from direct sunlight. The system had drawbacks? What sort of ability did I inherit? The sergeant shoved my back. Keep it moving, recruit. The second I shambled into the bus, my exhaustion faded away. System alert. You are no longer in direct sunlight. Stats have returned to normal. I moved forward, scanning the rows of new faces for a seat, until my stomach dropped. Riley, at the back of the bus, leaned against the seat, flirting with a pretty brown-haired girl who looked visibly uncomfortable. Come on, Layla. I'm a power level 5. Don't you want to cozy up to me before it's too late? Her eyes darted across the bus, then locked onto mine. She needed my help. My body screamed to hide from Riley, but I didn't. I swallowed my hesitation and stopped right in front of him. Riley? I thought you had a girlfriend. A few students snickered. Layla laughed. Riley's face flushed red until he recognized me. You're here? He flew to his feet. What do you think you're doing, Level 0? Want me to make your life as miserable as it was back in high school? I looked past him at Layla, who motioned to the now empty seat. Here, you can sit with me, Riley barked. Talon, are you listening to me? I ignored him, slipping past and sitting next to Layla. Hey, sorry about him. Are you okay? She nodded. That only made Riley angrier. Flames erupted around his fists. You think you can just ignore me? But over his shoulder, green smoke poured in through the vents. System warning. A foreign substance has been detected. My lungs burned as students coughed around me. Another slumped sideways. I furrowed my brow. What was going on? Riley took one more step. Then his legs buckled, dropping him to the floor. One by one, students fell unconscious around me. My eyes widened. We're under attack! System alert. Activating oxygen reserves. Your resistance to noxious fumes is increasing. I moved toward the front. Sergeant, we need to evacuate. The sergeant turned calmly, a gas mask already sealed over his face. Get some rest, boy. You'll need it for the academy. I opened my mouth to speak, but my eyelids grew heavy. Then my limp arms slipped beneath me, and as the bus began moving, I slumped to the floor. A moment later, a blinding light jolted me awake. Rise and shine, maggots! The sun shone directly in my face, stealing all my strength again. System alert. Stats reduced to 50%. Seek shelter immediately. Reminder. You must complete 3 more quests to fully unlock system. Right. I still didn't know what the system's true power was. And even if I found another quest, how was I supposed to complete it under the sun? I spun, taking in my surroundings, and stopped cold. In the distance, a massive cluster of buildings loomed, orbited by flying machinery and holographic tech. We'd made it to the academy. The sergeant stepped onto a wide stone platform as a dozen soldiers fanned out, each holding sleek watches. Today, you are cadets. Before we begin, you will each take a diagnostic test. A soldier marched up and snapped a watch onto my wrist. Ow! Tiny needles from the watch dug into my skin. What the hell was this thing? The sergeant boomed. When testing is complete, your watch will display your power level for all to see. Testing will begin shortly. A student with glasses groaned. Great! Now everyone gets judged at first glance. Who came up with this stupid power level system? All that should matter is whether you're willing to fight the Dalkee. It caught me off guard. He was the first person I'd met who thought the same way I did. When I turned for a look, his shiny silver necklace flashed in my vision. New system quest. Eliminate silver. I froze. Eliminate silver? Was that because vampires had a weakness to it? I couldn't afford to draw attention by destroying his necklace, but maybe I could game the system. I pointed at his chest. Nice necklace, though you might want to pocket it during testing. Might get damaged. Oh, good call. I watched anxiously as he took it off and tucked it into his pocket. Would the system count that? A second later, I got a message. Quest complete. Reward. Blood-soaked strength. Slight increase to strength and speed. My muscles bulged. Whoa! I tried to ignore it as the boy reached out a hand. My name is Peter, by the way. Glad to meet you. Quinn. I shook his hand, but my superpowered grip was stronger than I thought. Peter winced mid-shake. I smiled nervously. Sorry, I squeeze tight when I'm nervous. And the academy makes me real nervous. That's when Peter burst out laughing. That's fine. I don't mind my friends being nervous. Friend? Had I really just made my first friend at the academy? Maybe ever? The sound of heavy footsteps disrupted my thoughts. Hey, don't talk to that level 0. I tensed, suspecting Riley. But it was a cadet with long black hair. My name is Momo. I went to school with Peter. He's nothing but a pathetic, powerless loser. Peter cast his eyes at the ground, ashamed. No wonder he hated the power level system. He was just like me. I felt a tug at my chest and raised an eyebrow at Momo. I don't care who you are. Peter's my friend now. Peter grabbed my shoulder. Quinn, you really shouldn't mess with Momo. Too late. Electricity crackled across Momo's skin as he stomped closer, drawing back a sparking fist. You've got some mouth on you. How about I shut it up? Before I could think, he lunged. But I did too. My arm shot forward, catching his punch mid-swing. The impact rippled across the grass, sending jolts of electricity down my arm, but my feet stayed planted. I stared at our locked hands in disbelief. With my new strength, I'd actually stopped him. Momo's eyes widened. Then he furrowed his eyebrows and pushed harder. Doubt crept into my mind as electricity surged across my body. I was clearly stronger than before, but was it enough to take him? As Momo reared back his fist, a tall blonde boy grabbed him by the shoulder. Enough! Momo glanced at the newcomer. What are you going to do about it, Vorden? Lightning flashed in Vorden's hands. Same power, sharper control. I already said, enough. Panic twisted in Momo's face. Whatever. He yanked his hand away and shot one last glare at me. But if I don't put level 0s in their place, someone else will. As the electricity faded away, I let out a breath and faced Vorden. Thanks. You have the same power as him, huh? Vorden smiled wryly. Something like that. He glanced at me and Peter and held out a hand. Just know that I'm strong, and I like you two. So I'll keep you both safe, all right? I raised an eyebrow. I'd never heard of a powerful ability user that protected those weaker. Before I could shake his hand, a woman strode onto the platform. Cadets, my name is Officer Jane, and I'll be conducting your testing today. Let's see who looks interesting enough to go first. Her eyes scanned the crowd and landed right on us. You 5. My heart hammered. My system had made me stronger, but without its full power, one bad score would paint a target on my back from day one. She read off our names. Quinn Talon, Vorden Blade, Peter Chuck. She pointed behind me. As well as Aaron Healy and Layla Monroe. I blinked at the name. Layla? I turned to see the girl that I pulled Riley away from on the bus. Only now, she had a huge suitcase on her back. In the sunlight, she stood out in a way I hadn't noticed on the bus. Calm, composed, undeniably beautiful. Beside her was the cadet named Aaron, a girl with jet black hair and a mysterious air. Jane motioned us toward her. Let's not waste time. Step onto the platform. As we moved toward the platform, Vorden jumped to the front of the group, shaking Layla and Aaron's hands. Just realized, I never introduced myself to you guys. After he had finished, I raised an eyebrow at him. Are you just a social butterfly, or did that have something to do with your ability? Vorden chuckled. If you can figure it out by the end of the test, I'll get you lunch. Before I could inquire further, Officer Jane cleared her throat. First things first, It says here that Peter Chuck and Quinn Talon are powerless. Is that correct? Peter nodded. Yes, I am. Jane turned to me. And you? I still had no idea what the system changed about me, but it wasn't worth drawing attention to. I shrugged. Yup, I'm powerless too. Jane pulled a book out of a bag. This is a standard issue Earth Power ability book. It'll give you the common power of Earth manipulation. You will be exempted from testing until you develop usage with your ability. I looked closely as she handed it to Peter. System alert. Ability book detected. User is no longer able to learn from ability books. My stomach dropped as Jane handed me the next book. As a powerless, I was expected to take it. But if I never developed an Earth ability, the Academy would grow suspicious of me. I was sure that my parents kept the system a secret for a reason. I'm sorry, officer. I refused the book. Jane paused, studying me. Interesting choice, Talon, but very well. She pointed behind us. Aaron, Layla, you two will be tested first. Everyone else, move to the edge of the platform. Jane paced as Aaron and Layla pulled to the center of the platform. Cadets, your test will be simple. She waved her hands, and beams of light shimmered across the stone platform. A moment later, horrific monsters materialized underneath the light, making my blood run cold. These were Dalkee, the same alien beasts that killed my parents. Jane smirked. My ability allows me to create holograms. These are low-level Dalkee grunts. Eliminate as many holograms as possible. Earn your score. Get ready. Layla took the suitcase off her back and drew a futuristic-looking bow. I raised an eyebrow. What is that? Peter adjusted his glasses. You don't know? It's a beast weapon, made from powerful alien beasts, incredibly rare and capable of impossible things. Beams of golden energy darted across Layla's skin as she gripped the bow, the weapon clearly empowering her. Jane pulled a whistle to her mouth. Cadets, begin! Layla launched 3 arrows straight into the air. Each moved like they had minds of their own, piercing separate Dalkee targets. As they turned hard, pivoted mid-air, it became clear Layla was controlling them with telekinesis. A bright blue light flash drew my attention to the other cadet, Aaron. Wings of ice erupted from her back, carrying her into the skies. She snapped her hands forward, and a storm of icicles tore through the Dalkee, piercing through over a dozen at once. I couldn't believe just how strong these two were. A second later, Jane strutted into the center of the stage and blew her whistle. Time! This test is finished. Aaron Healy, you have earned a level 5. The number 5 faded onto Aaron's power watch. And Layla Monroe, you have been awarded the rank of level 2. I raised my eyebrows, impressed. Yet Layla looked crushed. A 2? That's it? I nudged Vorden. What's wrong with a 2? 3 was pretty high at my old school. Vorden shrugged. A 2 is good, but here, you only have 30 days to reach level 3, otherwise you'll be expelled. I needed to be at least level 3 to stay. Officer Jane whistled. All right, next up Vorden and Quinn. I stiffened. I thought you said that the powerless won't be tested until later. Jane raised her shoulder. You refused the ability book, so now I'm curious to see exactly what you're capable of. Performing badly meant getting branded as a 0 again. I couldn't let that happen. But the sun had cut my stats in half, and I still hadn't fully unlocked the system. As Vorden and I moved to the center of the platform, panic set in. Was there anything I could do? New system quest. Draw hair of another ability user. Reward. Temporary use of ability. Nocturnal power. I was stunned. Draw hair? Nocturnal power? Just what type of system is this? As light beams summoned dozens of Dalkee, I realized that I didn't have time to think. I had to move. Jane's hand shot into the air. Begin! Vorden threw his hands together, blasting a cold jet of wind that knocked back 3 Dalkee. I pushed away the closest Dalkee and awkwardly shuffled toward Vorden, my hand reaching toward his hair. So, is that your ability? Wind and lightning? Vorden laughed, launching a blue cold beam at another. Not quite. With my fingers hovering inches from Vorden's hair, I hesitated. wondering if I really needed to pull his hair, or if I could just do the assessment with halved stats. But then, Vorden glanced at my hand, and his eyes went wide. "Quinn, what are you doing?" Instant panic. I grabbed a hold of his entire scalp and yanked. Vorden twisted away, causing me to fall backward onto the floor. "Yo, what the hell was that?" I laughed nervously. "I'm sorry. It's just that you said you'd protect me, and these Dalkee are scaring me." The spectators burst out into laughter. With everyone distracted, I opened my palm to look for some of Vorden's hairs, but I had nothing. "System warning. No hair has been retrieved. Try again." I cursed, looking for Vorden when a Dalkee came charging right at me. I spun to avoid it, only to get speared to the ground by another. I used all my strength to push against it, but the sun made me weaker than before the system. A second later, another Dalkee piled onto me. A third one made it impossible to move. Jane shook her head. "This is a very poor performance, Quinn Talon." I gazed at the sky, seemingly powerless to stop myself from earning a poor power level and spending my time at the academy as a social reject. My head fell to the ground in acceptance, when an icicle suddenly pierced through the skull of one of the Dalkee. My eyes focused. What? Then, a storm of icy blades struck through the remaining ones. Was it Aaron? Vorden appeared over me, twirling a shard of ice in one hand and reaching out with his other. "You're right. I will protect you. Just try to last a little longer." A smile stretched across my face. I had no idea how he had the same power as Aaron, but I was glad to get another shot. I grabbed Vorden's forearm and hoisted myself up, my fingers snagging on the fine hairs along his skin. I didn't even notice until I was back on my feet and my vision flickered red. "Quest complete." I froze, opening my hand to see a tiny blonde hair sitting in my palm. That counted? "Reward granted. Ability, Nocturnal Power." In an instant, my muscles swelled back to their full strength, but that wasn't all. Power swirled beneath the surface of my skin. It didn't make my skin glow like other cadets. My veins darkened, and smoke subtly pulsed from my body. I knew the system wasn't like other abilities, but this felt dark. Vorden's voice cut through. "Quinn, watch out!" I looked up to see a Dalkee charging. My energy channeled into my fist on its own, and when the grunt threw out a punch, my knuckles came out faster, rocketing it backward with an explosion of dark energy. I couldn't believe that came from me. A real power, and it felt good. I looked at my hands, intentionally channeling my energy into them. After a moment, 2 blades of darkness appeared at the tips, small enough that no one would notice, large enough to be lethal. I charged, sliding under an alien spear as I stabbed into one of the holograms. My drive to score well turned into pure exhilaration. I leapt from one Dalkee warrior to another, dispatching them with a single swipe. Every spill of blood made my heart race, made me want more. I charged into a horde and spun like a tornado of death, dropping a handful to the ground. The world tuned out as holographic blood splattered onto my face, and a laugh escaped me. 100 XP earned. Bonus reward. Blood scent ability. I continued like a living shadow, laughing through each stab, until Vorden yanked my shoulder. "Quinn, time's up." The world returned as the dark energy drained from my body. I blinked. What just happened to me? I glanced at my hands draped in holographic blood, wondering if I should have been concerned. In the crowd, Layla and other cadets sat with mouths agape, clearly impressed by my performance. Riley, catching Layla's reaction, stared me down with shock and disgust. Maybe he was right to feel that way. I barely had time to process it when Jane marched over to us. "Vorden Blade, level 5. And Quinn, level 1. Congratulations." I smiled in disbelief. Me? Level 1? My whole life I was told I'd never be anything more than a 0, but now, I suddenly remembered that I had unlocked a bonus ability. "System, show me my reward." Blood scent ability. You can now see trails leading to blood. Reminder, you must complete one more quest to fully unlock system. My smile dropped as a dread fell over me. Why would I need the ability to locate blood? And what would happen when I fully unlocked this system? My thoughts were cut short as Vorden threw his arm around my shoulder. So, any guesses on what my power is? Remember, if you get it right, I owe you lunch. My eyes flicked to his hands, where his icicles were melting away when just earlier they sparked with Momo's electricity. When you were shaking everyone's hands, you were sampling abilities, weren't you? You can copy others. You must be an original, someone whose powers aren't from an ability book. Vorden smirked. Hey, no one has ever outed me like that before. Maybe you should get me lunch instead to make up for it. As we laughed, I studied him, remembering how he had protected me in the test. It was the first time someone with a higher power level looked out for me. I looked to the side and saw Peter alone in the corner. Once I fully unlocked my system, I could become strong and protect him too. Jane marched over to our group. Cadets, you've received your power levels. You're now free to explore the campus until curfew tonight. Good work, everyone. With the test over, Vorden, Peter, and I began walking toward campus, my mind wondering what my last beginner quest would be. As we reached the main buildings, Vorden patted us on the back. I just got a message. Some upperclassmen reached out about a party. What do you guys think about going? I frowned, not wanting to turn down Vorden, but also not wanting to delay unlocking my system. Luckily, Peter spoke up first. I think I'm just going to study this Earth book to hit power level 3. I don't want to be expelled. Vorden groaned. Come on, you guys have 30 days. That's more than enough time. Besides, I hear the party has an elixir that can increase your power. Peter gasped. Could something like that really exist? System recommendation. Attend party to grow strength. I stared curiously at the message. Going to the party wasn't labeled a quest, but if the system suggested it, it was probably for a good reason. I shook Vorden's hand. What are we waiting for? Let's go. Vorden walked us briskly across the campus. I barely had time to take in the high-tech sights before Vorden led us into a packed room with booming music and flashing lights. A couple cadets were using their powers to show off to each other. I shouted through the music. So where's this elixir? Vorden scanned the area and guided us to a table in the center of the room. A punch bowl labeled Strength Elixir sat on the counter. I nudged Vorden. Dude, I'm pretty sure this is just alcohol. He sighed. Yeah, it was too good to be true. Well, I'm going to enjoy this party. You guys are welcome to stay or leave. With that, the group dispersed. I still needed to find out why the system wanted me here, so I moved to a corner and whispered, System, show available quests. No quests available. Recommendation, stay at party to grow strength. How would staying here grow my strength? Suddenly, a girl bumped into me. Layla, the beast-weaponed girl, somehow looking even more gorgeous than I remembered. Her eyes widened once she realized. Quinn, right? You were really great out there. You might be one of the strongest, powerless cadets I've ever seen. I blushed. You mean that? She nodded excitedly. Absolutely. I rely on my beast weapon for strength, but that was all you. She paused, thinking, then, hey, want to train together sometime? My heart hammered in my chest. Me? Friends with someone like her? Out of the corner of my eye, I caught someone glaring at me. It was Riley, fury in his stare, like his embarrassing bus ride never ended. I shrugged at Layla. Are you sure you wouldn't want to buddy up with people who earned higher power levels already? She grabbed my hand. What? No. I saw what you can do, and I know we can help each other grow stronger. I want to be friends with you. At that moment, Riley huffed and marched away. But for once, I didn't care what he thought. Maybe here, at the academy, things really would be different. A system message cut my joy short. System alert. Blood trail detected. A red, translucent stream bled into vision at my feet, leading toward the back of the room. It clicked. This had to be why the system wanted me to stay at the party, but I doubted it would be good. 1 second, Layla. I need to check on something. Pushing past crowds of dancing cadets, I followed the trail to the back of the room and froze. Up ahead, a circle had formed around 2 students. Riley, who held Peter in the air by the collar. Riley punched Peter in the stomach. You little twerp, where's your new friend now, huh? You think he'll save you just because he has powers now? Seeing Peter get picked on reminded me of myself, only a few days ago, when I was just as powerless. Normally I'd want to hide, but at that moment, instinct pushed me into the circle. Put him down, Riley. I'm here. The music died as Riley threw Peter to the floor, tears forming in his eyes. You really think you matter now, Quinn? You think they're looking at you? They're not. They just feel sorry for you. Whether it's at the academy or here, I'm still above you. I was astonished. Are you kidding me? You're doing this because you're jealous? Riley ignited his fists, a fight inevitable. I gulped. I had never wanted to battle him. I always assumed that I would lose. But then... System alert. Fight detected. New quest unlocked. Draw and drink blood from enemy combatant. Reward. Fully unlocked system. I stopped. To fully unlock the system, I needed to drink blood? Before I could finish my thoughts, Riley lunged across the room. My face was showered with cinders as his fist landed. I tried to counter, but he caught my fist and made his flames rage, burning my hand. Riley sneered. See, Quinn? No matter how strong you get, you'll never beat me. When I broke away, he quick shot a flurry of fireballs at me. Doubt crept in as my skin peeled away. Maybe I couldn't complete my quest. Riley was invincible. System alert. Resistance to fire developing. More exposure to fire will grant you flame immunity. I suddenly remembered when earlier, my system was developing immunity to the noxious fumes on the bus. Now, it was trying to do the same with Riley's flames. I wrapped Riley in a bear hug. He batted at me. What are you doing, Level 0? My eyes flicked to the side, where Vorden, Peter, and Layla all watched in quiet horror. For the first time, I had friends. I had a life, but only as long as I was willing to fight for it. I held on even tighter, knowing that if I died here, it'd be worth it. System alert. Temporary flame immunity granted. Immunity will last 30 seconds. It's time. I slammed Riley to the ground. As he crawled backward, conjuring a fireball, I threw a punch through his flame, cracking his nose. When I pulled my fist back, I saw a single splat of Riley's crimson blood on it. System alert. Blood drawn. Consume to complete quest and fully unlock system. As I stared at the red dot on my hand, my mind flashed to everything the system made me do today. Destroy silver, steal hair, track blood. If I drank this, what would the system turn me into? Riley staggered to his feet and drew a dagger. Enough! I'm richer, I'm stronger, I'm better than you. Golden light spilled from the hilt as glowing tattoos crawled up his arms, filling him with power. He had just equipped a beast weapon and grown twice as strong. Riley pointed the blade at me. Just give up and let me finish this, Quinn. Aren't you tired of always being a weak loser? I scanned the crowd with calm eyes. The high-leveled cadets locked onto the level 1 on my watch, already marking me as their next target. There'd always be someone stronger, unless I leveled up too. I looked back at Riley, bringing my bloodied hand close to my mouth. Riley, the only thing I'm tired of is you. I licked the blood off my knuckles. A coat of dark energy ignited around me as bright red claws extended from my nails. My eyes burned red, my teeth sharpened into fangs, and wings of shadow sprouted from my back. System alert. Beginner quests completed. Vampire system fully unlocked. While the crowd recoiled, Riley held firm, drawing even more power from his weapon. My wings carried me off the ground like some demigod. You bullied me, made me a laughingstock, called me a level 0. My eyes whipped to Vorden, Peter, and Layla before dropping to Riley. But here, at the military, things have changed. I bared my fangs. Ready to find out what level I really am? What new power has Quinn just unlocked? Will it be enough for him to remain at the academy and avenge his parents? What will happen when Peter, Vorden, and the rest of the Academy learn of Quinn's true power? And as Quinn completes more quests, just how much stronger will he become? Next time on my vampire system, Quinn's battle with Riley rages, but both combatants have new abilities that no one will see coming. As Academy higher-ups learn the truth of Quinn's system, they'll uncover whether Quinn will be the one to end the world, or end the Dalkee War once and for all. And when Quinn's system gives him a new quest, he'll realize that his journey is just beginning.
Subscribe now and start watching free episodes of the #1 fantasy show in this YouTube playlist. For the full story, click the link in the description, download the Pocket FM app, and watch all episodes of My Vampire System.